I signed a contract last month with the largest private oil producer in the United States. They're flaring so much gas, they're starting to get in trouble with the EPA. So they're actually chasing us down. What can you do to help us mitigate this flare gas?
So I've seen your name associated with a lot of our Dallas-Fort Worth friends with regards to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. As we sit here and record it today, what is it at 100,000 or got really close to 100,000? When did you kind of look at that asset class and think, wait a second, there's something there?
I always had, since 10 years ago, I've had people saying, look at it. I didn't.
Me too.
Yeah, just disregard that sounds, but you hear it enough times from people you trust. It's different if it's just random noise, but you're like, that guy's freaking genius. Like, he's already rich. Why is he involved in that? I heard it enough times to where maybe 5 years ago, I started really rolling up my sleeves and getting dirty and trying to understand it. And I didn't get it first. And I get people sending me my own posts from social media, be like, look what you said. Like, you said it's totally gambling, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money.
But you said it. It's when you finally heard it from somebody you trust.
Yeah.
Because the first people I heard talking about it were before they were talking about that, they were guruing real estate.
Yeah.
And we all know what we're talking about there. So it's like, if that guy's telling me that, yeah, I'm not buying into that. But then, like, if you or like a Mac Lawson or one of these guys or Yale or these guys that I trust, and like if you're telling me that, I'm like, oh, I should look into that. But again, it's, do you trust that person or are they clearly full of shit?
Well, and that's one reason. I don't try to be too vocal about the business stuff, just throw out some things once in a while. But I felt like I do have that much credibility with some of my friends in my life. So I'm gonna actually talk about it a bit to lend any of my own credibility, my own business common sense. I've got a lot of investors I've dealt with. Kind of let them know, hey guys, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at it seriously. This isn't a fad. This isn't like a get rich quick scheme. This is something I'll probably be in for 100 years. Hope my kids keep carrying the torch forward. And I'll be clear, I'm talking about Bitcoin. Crypto and Bitcoin to me are very different things, and I'm talking about Bitcoin.
Well, for me, just to keep going down on the Bitcoin, and this will go into your next endeavor, is for me, it was all the same. But then when I started working with the Texas Blockchain Council and I started seeing the infrastructure side of it and seeing how many billions of dollars were going into the data centers to the energy development, and just seeing how all that was coming to play. And we're not talking about like, this small dinky little building. We're talking about massive, massive data centers that take massive amounts of electricity. One of the coolest things I ever did was I was in a super secret meeting, not me, but I was in the room with all the top Bitcoin miners in ERCOT. And this was about 2 or 3 years ago. And it was funny because ERCOT is this, government, bureaucratic, slow-moving thing, and you got the Bitcoin miners are like, let's go, let's go, let's go.
ERCOT is the Energy Reliability, something.
They're like
Council
the
of
managing
Texas.
body that they don't do anything other than manage.
Well, just for the listener who doesn't know what ERCOT is.
But to summarize how that meeting went was the ERCOT guys were like, so what you're telling us is y'all need the amount of electricity new on the grid that equals like New York City. And they're like, no, we want like 5.
5 New Yorks.
They want 5, and they're like, and you just saw them, maybe it was 3, but it was not 1. Yeah. And their face was just like, you could just see them almost have a heart attack, just because it was so foreign to them. But all that to be said is the infrastructure side, which is, I feel like, what you're getting into now.
Sure. Yeah, I have a firm with my partner, Jason Sharp. We do oil and gas exploration. We've got funds about to deploy next week. We'll be drilling a bunch of oil wells. And what we found, as we were talking about points earlier, is when you realize that you're leaving.
Are you buying oil wells, drilling on points? Because that would be, you buried the lead on that one. Screw your first-class flight.
It's producing what it takes to power the other is where I think this is going.
I think that's where it's going. When we're talking about the points, I realize I'm leaving something on the table. And the price of natural gas right now is nothing. And a lot of times when you drill these new wells, you have natural gas coming out of the ground, and sometimes you've got no pipeline Got no pipeline to tie that into, so you just light it on fire and burn it into the atmosphere. Methane. It's really a waste of energy. I don't find that it's environmentally responsible. I'm not a tree hugger. I'm not a green person whatsoever, but I don't really want to go there and breathe it at the same time, you know? So within reason. But that's just wasted energy. And so that's something that we're doing now is with our Bitcoin mining. We bring out data centers right out to the well. We have large industrial style generators, gen sets that run on this natural gas that would otherwise be burnt or vented directly into the atmosphere. And we create electricity with that, and we power our data centers. And we mine Bitcoin in the middle of the Panhandle or Kansas or wherever we've got a flare gas stack, a vented gas asset.
And are you getting multiple wells, multiple flares to go to one data center, or is one well, like how much electricity does one well give to? Because I mean, how many miners do you like? I guess how many megawatts come from one well? That's what I'm trying to get to.
So if it's a good sized well, you can get a megawatt out of a single well, if not more. And a megawatt will power 300 to 400 ASIC miners, which is it's an impressive thing. You walk in there, it doesn't look like a small operation whatsoever, like swing the door open. Right. So we're gonna keep drilling. I signed a contract last month with the largest private oil producer in the United States. They're flaring so much gas, they're starting to get in trouble with the EPA. They've got satellites up in space looking for methane emissions and where they're coming from, and if they don't fix them soon, they're gonna start getting fined. We're talking 40%, 50%, 60% added per year if they don't clean this up. So they're actually chasing us down. What can you do to help us mitigate this flare gas? They don't want to turn off their oil well.
Right.
They need to do something, but it's so isolated, it's so remote, it's stranded gas that they're asking people like us to come in for free and mine. So it's free energy for us to mine Bitcoin. I mean, it's really the dream scenario.
Right.
So
You're being environmentally conscious.
Don't laugh, don't smile. It's good what we're doing for the environment, but you know the motivation.
Can't say it with a straight face
the
either.
motivation is to earn money.
18-wheeler trailer? Like, what is
40-foot shipping container turned into a data center. Yep, and they'll house 400 ASIC miners, little square computers that just suck down energy. Each one is like a hairdryer on maximum mode, so they really just suck 3,000, 4,000 watts times 300 or 400. So it's a massive energy consumption.
But the thing is also, what about the when you're doing deploying a site like that? When you're doing a traditional site, you have to have transformers to get the power from the lines and go through the transformer and do its magic. But like last time I checked, there's at least a 6-month to 18-month waiting list for those things. For something like this, is because you're building a generator and you're going straight to it, is it different logistics, different technology that you don't have that long wait time?
Yeah, we can deploy much faster. And if the economics of it change, we can move our mine. We're not physically located in a data center somewhere. So it's not cheap to move a mine, but it's $50K and not, there's our $50 million business warehouse with nothing to do with it.
It's crazy. It's good stuff. But when you look at an investment like that,
Can I have one?
a miner or
I want the shipping container with the ASIC thingies.
I mean, do it.